Ray tracing. Every gamer's wet dream. You want it, don't you? Especially after looking at that Portal RTX release and that fan-made Half-Life 2 RTX mod. Problem is, I'm sure you don't have an RTX card. Don't worry, I don't either. This short video is basically about ReShade, and I got the perfect subtitle for it. It ain't ray tracing, but it'll do. ReShade is a post-processing injector that adds in new graphical effects that the game might not have natively. What I did here was add it into Half-Life 2. Now, the effects I used here were a bit exaggerated on purpose to show you how much different you can make it. I personally would use ReShade very minimally to spice up the graphics. Now, ReShade will never be the same as proper ray tracing, but in its own way, it does improve the visuals. The problem is that it has a lot of shaders and you have to be very careful about not going crazy and turning all of them on. Especially because a lot of them serve the same purpose and you don't want two sharpening shaders on at the same time. While Nvidia's RTX Remix tech affects the background rendering of the game to make it look different, ReShade works on the contrary. What ReShade does is add on the effects on what already has been rendered. But using ReShade with Half-Life 2 definitely brings out a new look. While the footage looks overtly bright, it still made it feel a bit sharper, modern and more different. Going through different places in the game, you can see how the results aren't always the same. If it were true ray tracing, we would have very distinctly lit and dark areas. With ReShade, everything gets brighter, even the indoor dark areas. However, in some rare cases, it did do the job pretty well, where the dark areas were kept dark and the bright areas shined more, sort of like a fake ray tracing. Would I play the whole game like this? Not really, but just for shits and giggles, I think it's very interesting. One drawback for ReShade is that you still need a high-powered computer to use it, or at least a good graphics card. I have a RX 580 which is starting to show its age now, and while using ReShade, it started to sound like a jet engine. Now, while I'm very aware about the Half-Life 2 and ReShade combo, something that I never tried before is using ReShade on Half-Life 1. And to be honest, I found this to be even more charming than Half-Life 2. Granted, I still wish we could get ray-traced reflections and shadows with ReShade, but this works too. The colors pop out, the shininess of the labs and the lights, it all works together to make a refreshing experience, just like in Half-Life 2. As time passes, hopefully most of us will be able to get a RTX card and use the Remix tech. I believe with that tech in the Half-Life community's hands, it would bring about great mods and visual upgrades for our favorite games. And that's pretty much it for this short video. Hoped you liked it. Thanks for watching, and a big thanks to these members for supporting the channel. Alien Grunt, Mark Jelen, A Normal Street Lamp, Marcelion, Klaus, T-Boy301, HL1+1, TRR Droid, The Hazardous Memer, Bipolit the Fighter, Forgotten, and Skyclad. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.